Okay, so hello guys. Today I will be making a reaction video about this YouTube video that I saw that just actually came across my feed. I tried to watch it for a few minutes and then I was like, I would probably want to make a reaction video about this because I somehow don't agree to most of the stuff he's saying. So let's watch this video and I will share to you my thoughts about it. I will also share the link on the description below, the link of his YouTube channel. If you want to support him, go ahead, go to his channel, subscribe to him. But I will definitely going to be sharing my honest thoughts as a Filipino living here in the West. Without further ado, let's go ahead and play his video.
Going back to the West is noise. Noise here is constant and nonstop. I live in the province, the city, wherever you are, there's going to be a lot of noise. You have roosters crowing every morning, dogs barking, karaoke, traffic, loudness in general. People here don't seem to be disturbed by noise at all. I'll admit sometimes it bothers me. The festivals, here in Dingras, we have a festival that just ended last week, but it lasts like a month between Christmas and the festival. You know, there's the Christmas festival and then this festival season. It's more than a month. It's 6 weeks about. Every night there's a carnival, there's music, and you could hear it all over town. In fact, my last place, my apartment, the carnival was right behind my apartment. It's one of the reasons I moved. For 6 weeks straight, you hear the same music every night, the same songs playing over and over. I could still hear them in my head now, the same songs playing over and over and over every night. And it was loud in my apartment. And for the locals, it's not a problem. It's not something you can complain about to the police. Each neighborhood is called a barangay, so you can go to the barangay captain if you want and complain, but it's probably not going to get you anywhere.
Oh, complaining? No.
Reason number 5 is the noise. A lot of men just from the West just can't handle the noise. You can't get away from it, and they end up moving back because of that. Reason number 4.
Okay, before we proceed with this reason number 4, I would just like to make a comment about that. So yeah, in the Philippines, it is really noisy. Like if you live in the province, you're gonna hear a lot of animals, cows, carabaos, chickens, goats, birds. And then if you live on the city, you're gonna be hearing a lot of car noise, honking, traffics everywhere. And especially during festivals, you're gonna see a lot of people talking, laughing, singing, dancing like for the whole month. So if you go to the Philippines and you would get there during those seasons, then it's gonna be really noisy. But then again, if you go to the Philippines, you should have this open mindset that you want to experience what the culture is on that country. But if you go to the Philippines and then you are expecting that it's gonna be the same as in the US, then you came there with the wrong mindset and you shouldn't probably be there. What you mentioned earlier, there was this festival, and then if you want to complain about the noise to the barangay captain or the police, of course they won't do anything because it's a tradition in the Philippines. There's gonna be a carnival, there's gonna be a lot of people singing and dancing, and of course those police or barangay captains won't do any action, won't take that complaint because it's the culture there. They won't stop the festival or the mood of the community, of the environment, because of you who's complaining about the noise. That is like a mindset of a privileged dude, privileged Westerner who like go to another country and then he doesn't like what's going on in his environment, and then he goes complaining and expect that the police will take the complaint seriously and listen to him and stop everyone because of you who didn't like what's going on. That's my thoughts of it. But if during the non-festival days or season in the Philippines and there's like people like really loud, you can complain to the barangay captain and the police and they will take action against that person. They will stop that. They will advise that person to settle down because someone is complaining. So let's hear your number 4 reason here.
That men from the West will leave the Philippines is infrastructure. Slow internet, no internet, bad phone service, internet disruptions is very common here. The roads aren't great. The housing isn't great. So a lot of men who are used to the US like me, or Europe or even Australia. They'll spend a while here, and after a while, they just can't take it anymore. There's no street lights here to speak of, basically, so the roads are just kind of a free for all. Everybody just kind of looks at each other and nods their head which way they're going to go. In fact, there was a crazy bad accident.
Okay, so well, I agree with that statement that the internet is bad, the phone signal is slow to zero. That is because the Philippines is a geographically challenged country because it consists of a lot of islands, so infrastructures can't be like the same with the US or Canada, where you can just connect roads, connect cable lines and phone lines and fiber stuff. Every island, every province is like different. But if you go to like cities like in Cebu City or Manila or Cagayan de Oro, you will be getting a lot of good phone service and internet service too. May not be as fast as in the US, but it's definitely good enough for whatever you need to do. And also, despite that, the internet in the Philippines is so much cheaper compared here in the West, especially here in Canada, man. So, what are you talking about? Let's continue this video.
Here just last week, where a truck parked on the wrong side of the road, pulled out without looking, and he hit a tricycle head on. There was a pregnant woman in the tricycle.
That's fucked up.
The guy driving the tricycle was the husband of the pregnant woman. He's dead. She's in the hospital. So there's accidents that happen that don't really need to happen if they had better infrastructure on the roads. So reason number 4, a lot of men won't stay in the Philippines or just can't handle it anymore, is the infrastructure. It's definitely lacking. Another infrastructure.
Yeah, it's definitely F up if that accident happened, because accident happens everywhere, man. Yes, the infrastructure in the Philippines is not as good as here, but I've seen a lot of accidents here, like entire family dead after a highway crash. Yeah, accidents happen everywhere. And also during winter, you're just driving on a highway and then suddenly your car would just start turning 360 and then crash to the sidewalk or crash to the roadside. It happens here too, so accidents happen everywhere. And if that is the reason why you will be leaving the Philippines, I really think you have a wrong mindset, man.
Structure issue is sewage. Sewage is a problem. A lot of, like, the sewage from my house here just runs in the ditch behind the house. Sometimes there's a smell, sometimes there's other issues.
Okay, so with regard to the sewage, yeah, there's some problems with the sewage system, especially in the provinces, but that is something you can do about. Like this video you're showing right now, it looks like this is on your backyard, and you should probably make a better sewage for yourselves.
But infrastructure is definitely lacking in the country. That being said, they're definitely doing more about infrastructure to get it better and to improve the infrastructure, but it's definitely lacking compared to the countries of the West.
Definitely, I agree with that. It's not as good as here in the West with regard to infrastructure. So if you don't want that, then don't go to the Philippines.
Okay, I'll make this quick. I don't want to take up too much time. I'm still a small channel. I was recently monetized, but it takes a lot of my America. I've traveled all over the world. So thank you. Blackouts that are, not enough electricity.
Radio.
Number 3 reason that Western men won't stay in the Philippines is brownouts. There's not enough electricity capacity in the Philippines for all the electricity that's being used. In the US, when we have a hurricane.
I'd say this usually happens in the provinces where they were really far from the grid, or this doesn't happen at all in like cities like Cebu, Manila, and Cagayan de Oro City. So there are some places in the Philippines that has some issues with the electricity. I hope he just like mentioned which places he's talking about, because that doesn't happen in Cebu or in a lot of places in the Philippines.
Or a tornado or even a bad snowstorm will have blackouts that are, come out of nowhere, and we just have to deal with them. Here they have what they call brownouts, which are planned blackouts. So you'll get a notification on your phone that 8 to 6 on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of March or whatever, those hours during the day, there's going to be no electricity. They're going to turn it off to save electricity. It's going to be a brownout. Up here in the north, it's not that bad, but where I used to live in Mindanao, it's pretty bad. It's like basically a weekly thing. So
Okay, so Mindanao it's on the southern part. It's a less developed part of the Philippines compared to the northern part of the Philippines.
if you're
But they have like really beautiful nature and beautiful beach and beautiful quality of air over there.
a Western man here and you're working, you have a job that's in the West, that they're not really going to be too considerate. Your job back home in New York that you're working remotely, whatever, they're not going to be considerate of you not getting your deadlines met because you had a brownout in the Philippines once a week or twice a week.
That is true. So if you're working remotely, then don't live in the remote places in the Philippines. Live in the city. Live in a location where there's a good supply of electricity, like in the city. But if you live, or you couldn't even probably work if you live like in remote places in the Philippines, because there will be no internet signal over there. So, or if there is, then it's gonna be really slow. So if you have remote work, then go to the city, and the good places where there's like a good supply of electricity and faster internet.
So a lot of Western men, they won't be able to deal with the brownouts that are common here, and that's another reason they'll move back to the West. Okay, reason number 2 is a big one, the weather. So here in the Philippines, it's hot and humid everywhere.
It's so damn hot.
Except for the city of Baguio, which is at high elevation and rarely gets over 85 degrees there, which is cold for the Philippines. You see people wearing sweatshirts and jackets there every day. I mean, not a Westerner, but the locals here, they'll get cold real easy. Even here in Dingras, where it's 95 most days all year, 90 to 95, especially in the summer. You'll see in the morning when it's a little cooler out, like 75 to 80, everybody will be bundled up in their jackets, riding their motorcycles. I mean, it's very rare. One time I rode the motorcycle early in the morning here.
So yeah, the weather in the Philippines is like a whole year thing. It's not like here in the West, especially here in the eastern part of the Americas, where the temperature would reach -14, -50 degrees Celsius. So that's like around -100 degrees Fahrenheit. So definitely, if you don't want warm places, then don't go to the Philippines. Go to somewhere else. Go to the northern part of Canada. Go to Alaska.
And it was in the winter, which is almost no different from the summer. And I got a little chilly riding in just a t-shirt, but 99.9% of the time, it's too hot here for a Westerner. The humidity, it even gets to me sometimes. I love the heat. I went for a while here without aircon, but it really affects your sleep if you don't have air conditioning. Heat and humidity, some guys, especially guys who are bigger, used to colder temperatures, grew up in the north, they won't be able to handle it here. And this is one of the reasons that I'm moving closer to the beach next year, because if it's a lot easier to handle the temperature if you're on the beach and there's a breeze and you can go for a swim every day. Other than that, the heat and humidity, if you don't like it, like I kind of like heat and humidity, but even me, it gets to me after a while, They,
Yeah, he's just complaining about, or he's just telling something about how hot it is in the Philippines and how people gets cold when in fact it shouldn't be cold. That's what he's trying to say on this part. So let's just move to the other reason he has here.
running out of it here is one of the reasons men will go back to the West and not stay in the Philippines. And reason number 1, the number 1 reason Western men will leave the Philippines is running out of money.
Out of food and out of money.
Men will come here before retirement age. A lot of you guys know the story about John from Dumageddon. He was, I think, around my age, in his mid-50s when he moved here. He met a girl and he had kids with her, and he moved here with $30,000, I believe. He wasn't old enough to get Social Security, so I believe he tried to work online, but it didn't work out. He ended up spending that whole $30,000. He was very generous with his wife's family.
And I mean really fucking stupid.
And of course, he had 1 or 2 kids with his wife or girlfriend. I'm not even sure if they're married. But I think he spent it on a house and housing. He went through that $30,000 in basically under a year. I mean, $30,000, if you're not at retirement age where you get Social Security or you don't have some kind of remote income, you're not going to make it here because it's going to cost you $1,000 a month minimum as a Westerner to live here in the Philippines. And then on top of that, you're going to have unexpected expenses, maybe health things.
Yeah, you're gonna be spending probably around 1,000 a month in the Philippines. However, that already includes your house, your bills, your electricity, your internet, and all those stuff, your food. But here in the West, you couldn't survive for $1,000 a month. You're probably gonna be living in the street if you only have $1,000 per month. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Come up. So it's simple math will tell you $30,000 will get you 30 months.
Oh, he's probably like saying that if you go to the Philippines and you have $30,000 cash, he's probably expecting that you're gonna live forever in the Philippines with that amount of money. So that's if you're expecting to that you're gonna live forever in the Philippines for that amount of money, then don't go to the Philippines, man. You're just wasting your time.
It's at $1,000 a month, and probably less than that if you really think about it and look at your expenses. If you go on a vacation, I easily spent $1,000 on mine and my girlfriend's vacation last month to Thailand. Probably more than $1,000, I would say, and then helped them out and stuff. Worked for about doing on the streets in the human age with less than $100,000. Other guy, number one, money. Men from the West will run out of money, and especially if they get in a relationship with a Filipina, and there's endless stories of Filipinas taking advantage of Western men and scamming them out of their money. That was another $1,000. Of course, I still work in the West, so I could afford some vacations and stuff. It's not too much of a burden for me. I know I'm going back to work in the West for a few months and then coming back here. The stories of Western guys homeless in the streets of the Philippines are never ending. You see them all the time on the news here. There are people that help them out and stuff, and they'll pull together, like YouTubers pulled together for John and got him a ticket back.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just gonna like forward the video because I've seen this video already, and so you will also have a chance to like visit his channel and watch the entire video from there. Let's move to
Geo in the Philippines is when he came here, so that's different. So anyway, reason number one, money. Men from the West will run out of money, and especially if they get in a relationship with a Filipina, and there's endless stories of Filipinas taking advantage of Western men and scamming them out of their money. So make sure you have enough money to get by and pay for whatever expenses might come up. Okay. So
yeah, because like if you go to the Philippines and you only have like a few thousand and you go to strip clubs every night, then definitely you're gonna run out of money. Because like if you go to a country and then your main priority is to like get prostitutes, then of course you have to bring a lot of money. Also, those girls working in those clubs, they're also like trying to get as much money as they can. But if you like meet a true Filipina girl that doesn't work on a strip club, or a decent Filipino girl is what I'm trying to say, then you're gonna have a really good life. Filipinos are caring, loving, responsible, family oriented. You're gonna have a good life. But then again, if your main focus is to like go to strip clubs and like meet ladies there, then of course you have to bring a lot of money.
So you sat through the 5 reasons that men from the West will not stay in the Philippines and move back to the West. So I'm going to give you the bonus reason number 6, while men from the West don't stay in the Philippines, and that's failed relationships. A lot of men will come here for a relationship. They'll meet a girl online.
Okay, so yeah, he's just basically saying what I've already told you earlier. It's because a failed relationship usually happens because they're looking for girls on the wrong place in the first place. So what do you expect, man? Anyway, that's just my quick reaction for this video. I'm not sure if that is like really quick, but there's like a lot of reasons why Westerns are leaving the Philippines, and of according to him, that's the 5 or 6 reasons. And so I'm a Canadian citizen, but I grew up in the Philippines, spent my entire childhood and early adulthood in the Philippines. I can definitely attest to this. I know what he's talking about, and I've seen the Western perspective and the perspective of being in the Philippines as well. In my opinion, I'll just grab as much money as I can get here in the West, and then I'm gonna go to the Philippines, live there after, or retire there, because people there are so much warmer, friendly. The nature, the environment, everything there is just so much better than here in the West. The only thing that's better here in the West is the opportunity, the job. You can earn a lot more. But then comparing the people and the quality of life, I'd still go to the Philippine province and live there. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy some contents like this, please consider subscribing and let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts. Have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye.